The mortality rate for the POWs in Russian camps was 85%. Our next person to share is John Reece, Navy. John Reece.
Many schools of yesteryear glossed over or totally ignored the history of minority groups. The history of the Black Panthers is one that is frequently overlooked. Men, you are the first Negro tankers to ever fight in the American Army. I would never have asked for you if you weren't good. I have nothing but the best in my Army. I don't care what color you are, so long as you go up there and kill those Kraut sons of bitches. Everyone has your eyes on you and is expecting great things from you. Most of all, your race is looking forward to your success. Don't let them down, and damn you, don't let me down. This was General George Patton talking to the men of the 761st Tank Battalion, known as the Black Panthers. While most combat troops fought in the front for a week or two before being rotated back, the men of the 761st served for more than 6 months, fighting heroically under Patton's Third Army at the Battle of the Bulge and in the Allies' final drive across France and Germany. Their motto, come out fighting. After the D-Day invasion, the 761st was sent to France. During the fall of 1944, General Patton selected the 761st to be part of the Saar campaign in the Allied drive to the Siegfried Line near the border of Germany and France. On November the 8th, 1944, the battalion joined with the 104th Infantry and the 26th Infantry Divisions in an attack on German positions in northeastern France. As they were entering the town, a roadblock improvised by the Germans using a falling tree and several landmines stopped the progress of the tank battalion and the infantry. The Germans were then trained their fire on the tanks and the infantrymen stranded in the roadside ditches. Staff Sergeant Reuben Rivers, who was positioned in Able Company's lead tank, dismounted from his tank in the face of enemy small arms fire, attached a cable to the road blocking tree, and moved it off the road, which permitted the combat team to proceed. His actions prevented a serious delay in the overall offensive, which included the capture of the town. For this action, Rivers was awarded the Black Panthers' first Silver Star. In 1978, after a long delay, the Black Panthers were awarded the Presidential Unit Citation. In 1997, Sergeant Reuben Rivers was awarded the highest military award, the Congressional Medal of Honor. He was one of 7 African Americans to receive the Medal of Honor in World War II. He was one of 11 brothers and sisters. His Medal of Honor citation reads as follows: for conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty, Staff Sergeant Rivers distinguished himself by extraordinary heroism in action during 16 to 19 November 1944, while serving with Company A's 761st Tank Battalion. On 16 November 1944, while advancing toward the towns of Gerbling, France, Staff Sergeant Rivers' tank hit a mine at a railroad crossing. Although severely wounded, his leg slashed to the bone, Staff Sergeant Rivers declined an injection of morphine, refused to be evacuated, took command of another tank, and advanced with his company into Gerbling the next day. Repeatedly refusing evacuation, Staff Sergeant Rivers continued to direct his tank's fire at enemy positions beyond the town through the morning of the 19th of November 1944. At dawn that day, Company A's tanks advanced toward Berghof, their next objective, but were stopped by enemy fire. Captain David J. Williams, the company commander, ordered his tanks to withdraw and take cover. Staff Sergeant Rivers, however, radioed that he had spotted the German anti-tank positions. I see him, we'll fight him. Staff Sergeant Rivers joined by another Company A tank, opened fire on enemy tanks, covering Company A as they withdrew. While doing so, Staff Sergeant Rivers' tank was hit, killing him and wounding the rest of the crew. Staff Sergeant Rivers' fighting spirit and daring leadership were an inspiration to his unit and exemplify the highest traditions of military service. Madam President.
Thank you, John. Okay, please welcome John. You had one more item?
Here's a little bit of trivia. My last name is Reece, R-E-E-C-E. Mom, I always said if Mom had known how to spell, I'd be heir to the peanut butter cup fortune, but that's not quite true. However, among the 1,177 sailors entombed in the hulk of the USS Arizona is a fellow by the name of John Jeffers Reece, with a C. At the same time, on the USS Maryland, 3 ships down the battleship row, there was a Billy Dick Reece. 7 years later, he became my father.
Thank you, John.